Good morning. I have to remember to look at the camera and not down at all of you because then it looks like I'm looking down. I'm really wanting to look at all of you because this is what always gets me going when I'm standing in front of you in Santa Rosa at your beautiful sanctuary is when I look at each one of you and I look at your faces and we connect in a way that's beyond words and beyond thought, beyond anything but a heart connection. And that's what I love about what I get to do and being with you. So it said that Mother Teresa said, God will never give me more than I can handle, but how come he trusts me so much? So right now we're being given a lot, right? We're being given a lot. And I think the teaching from Charles Fillmore, our Unity co-founder, that inspires me the most, and the way he talked about this is the pivoting quality, the pivoting property of the conscious mind, that we can decide at any moment where to put our attention. So with a lot of news and a lot of sadness and a lot of suffering and a lot of personal challenge and upset and gnashing of teeth and beating our breasts, in this moment right now we are together in a new and interesting way, a way that we'll be together for quite a while as we shelter in place individually, as we have this opportunity to be in our homes and in our places of rest and repose, as we get to really find out who we truly are. So quite a while ago when Meg asked me when I'd be available to speak in the following 6 months, this was, before the end of the year, I jumped on, are you available on Palm Sunday? Because I'd love to speak on Palm Sunday, because Palm Sunday today puts together just these true traditions that I dance with, the Judaic tradition and the Christian tradition. Because, this is Holy Week, and the holiday of Passover doesn't always occur in this same week, but this week we just get that double, triple whammy. Now, the way we know, I need to read this because I never get it quite right. We know that today is Palm Sunday because we know next week is Easter, and the way we know Easter is next week is because each year Easter falls on the first Sunday after the first full moon after the spring equinox. So this coming Tuesday will be the full moon, and the spring equinox was last week on the 19th. So we know that Easter is next Sunday, which means today is Palm Sunday. So this is the week of Passover. This is the week where it's celebrated that journey that the Israelites took to leave their homeland, to leave the bondage of Egypt and to find their homeland. And they left because of oppression, of racism, of all those things that still plague us today. And there were plagues and there were edicts, and finally this last edict sent the people off, and because they had to leave so quickly, they didn't have time for their bread to leaven in order to bake their bread, that sustenance, and hence they had unleavened bread, which is today's matzah, which my mother used to call pressed cardboard for the way it tasted. So this holiday is really about that understanding of what it is to choose freedom and for what it is we have to do in order to live that choice. And it's such a personal choice for each one of us. We're having that choice every minute of every day right now. Where do we choose to put our attention? And there are days we don't think we have any choice at all because of the horrific news that we're getting and what we know. All we know is this breath and the next breath, this kind of sea of calm that we can create in our own hearts, this sort of a meditation teacher that I work with, Sam Harris, he calls it the prior condition, the condition before our monkey minds take off. Now, certainly there is some good thought that we need and we have, but there's also a lot of monkey mind going on, wouldn't you think? Don't you think your emotions are driving off in crazy directions sometimes, and you're going off in areas of thought that are not helpful or useful to yourself or to anybody? So then what we have is Jesus the rabbi, Jesus the observant Jew, who's very radical. He's out there teaching and preaching and healing and raising the dead and doing all sorts of things. And the authorities at the time are finding him a bit too much, because he's quite a rabble raiser. He's breaking traditions. He's saying, let's make it new. Let's take these things that we've always done and let's look at them in a new way, and let's make a new decision. So his decision is to come to Jerusalem for the Passover. Now, every observant Jew at the time would go to Jerusalem for the Passover, but they would walk into Jerusalem. And what did Jesus do? According to scripture, this is all kind of, it's story. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't happen, but we know it's true because it's true in our hearts. And depending on the tradition that you were raised in or not, you believe this story or not, but believe it as a story. So here Jesus is riding into the city. The people are putting down palms. Let's put our palms up. Putting down palms and clothes and cloaks and things for him to ride onto, to honor him in this way. And he doesn't ride on a beautiful white steed. He rides in on an ass, a donkey, the lowest of animals. And maybe to say, I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm coming into the city because I need to finish what I came here to do. And he's coming to the city for the Passover, which we see as the Last Supper. See, the 12, that beautiful Da Vinci portrait of the 12 of them sitting on the table. Jesus in the middle looking, very European with his long blonde locks and blue eyes. Everyone takes the story and makes it their own, don't they? Don't we? So he's coming as the observant Jew, but he's coming with just some new energy. He's coming to do what he knows is his to do, which is to continue to teach and to preach and to hold steady to this idea of we need to make our religion, our connection with spirit, we need to make that new every single moment, that we can choose that. And so that's what Palm Sunday is about for me. It's about that Last Supper. It's about that observance of the tradition that has always been. But yet we get to choose our own palm-strewn path every single day. I just want to look at some of the things I'd noted that I wanted to share with you to make sure I don't forget what I think is so important. You know how that is sometimes. You want to look what you wrote down. Because something that came to me in preparing this lesson before I knew I'd be doing it this way was this idea that I believe we have two purposes. And one purpose is common to all of us, and the other is unique to all of us. And the first purpose is for us to know individually who we are in God mind. And we talk about God mind, it's a term we use in Unity. You can use whatever term works for you, God, Spirit, Divine Mind, Allah, Jehovah. Who we are individually in this greater plan. Who are we? And then who we are in that mind and what that mind is in us. So it's sort of a twofold, but the same thing. It's like the yin and yang. Who we are in this greater picture, and then how this greater picture works in us. And the second purpose is what is then that unique gift, and how do we share it? Now, some of us have unique gifts that we share in ways that we're not able to do right now because we are sheltering in place. So we're finding new ways to do that gift. I found a new gift, as I shared with you. I actually baked cookies for the first time. So far, so good. We'll see how that goes. As I said earlier, all the chocolate chips in Napa County are gone. So we have to find new ways of doing that. I love this Sufi story. I want to share with you. I'll read it. A poet went to see his doctor because he was very ill, emotionally and physically ill. And the poet said, "Doctor, I have all these symptoms. I'm happy. I'm unhappy. I'm comfortable. I'm uncomfortable. My hair and my arms and my legs feel as if they're tortured." The doctor answered, "Well, isn't it true that you've not given us your latest poetic composition?" "Well, that's true," said the poet. "Very well," said the doctor. "Would you be good enough to recite your latest poem to me now?" And the poet did. And then the doctor said, "Do it again." And he did. And the poet said, "Read it to me again." And he did. And the doctor said, "Read it to me again." And he did. And then the doctor said, "Stand up. You are cured. What you had inside affected your outside. And now that it's released, you are well again." And the man left healed. There's this great piece in the Gospel of Thomas. When you produce this within, what you have will save you. What you do not have within will kill you. When you produce this within, what you have will save you. What you do not have within will kill you. Now more than ever, ever, ever in our lifetimes, whether we were born during wars, whether we were born just a few years ago, what is so important right now is to find and live from that deep knowing. To find and live and enhance and practice and grow that which is within you. And as Eric Butterworth says, and it's my favorite of his, it's not like a raisin in a bun. It's a drop of water in the ocean. Every single one of us has a divine spark, is a divine spark. And if you don't know that from every cell of your being right now, you gotta go find it. And the place you go out to find it is inside. It's the practice. And it's the practice, and it's the practice. Yesterday, Hal and I had the privilege of being on a webinar with Maria Nemeth. Some of you might know her. She has the Academy of Coaching Excellence, and she wrote The Energy of Money, I think. And she works a lot with energy. And she was sharing how we have these 100,000-year-old brains that still act as if it's 100,000 years ago. And this is what I remember about it. 100,000 years ago, when you're in a cave and you need to go out and look for food, when you walk out that cave, what's the first thing you look for? Well, my answer was, I look for danger. I look for how I might be safe. I look for predators. I'm not looking for food right away. I have that instinct. And she reminds us that we're all living with that instinct right now, that instinct of that danger with our 100,000-year-old brain. And so with that pivoting action, purpose, property of the mind that Charles Fillmore so elegantly teaches us, that we are able then to take that, acknowledge that, and turn our attention to that which we are grateful for that knowing of who and what we are, for spiritual community, for the ability like so quickly to turn this around and be able to meet like this. I'm sitting here in my dining room with my computer looking at a little tiny black hole in the top of my computer, and I know all of you are there. And I know we're all connected and together. So with that, let us remember to find out, because it's already there. There's that wonderful song, Love is Already Here. It's already here. Your purpose is already here. Your spirit is already here. Let's just take that into some meditation. So let's close our eyes. And let's notice the next breath. The next inhalation. And the next exhalation in this sort of sea of calm. So whatever it is you need to do in this moment to be relaxed and to let go, and to just feel the warmth and the energy of your spiritual community right here, whether it's your first time or you've been part of this for 40 years. Right now, we are one mind. We are one heart. We are one God. And we know in this moment that whatever comes before us, we can create, and we do create, a sea of calm within our own hearts and minds. And that we can rest in the soothing stillness of this divine presence. And we can feel the power of the divine. The power of healing love. The power of stable emotions. The power of the ability to say yes to spirit at any moment and no to that which is toxic to my own mind and being. We know as we continue to take good care of ourselves, our physical bodies and our emotional bodies, our spiritual bodies. That there is a power within us and around all of us that's greater than all of us individually. And that is God the good. God the good. Let us be silent together for a few moments. For a few moments together in the silence. And slowly, gently, as we bring our attention forward to this moment, we remember that all is truly well as we walk our own palm-strewn path, knowing that whatever is happening on the outer, that there is this solid, knowing, holy and divine presence within each one of us that we share and can call on. And we'll know what is ours to do, and we'll do it. For that is the power of mind, the power of love, and the power of God. And so, with our eyes open, our hearts full, our spirits strong, we say shalom and namaste.